on Madden NFL 24.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they'll be let out by their 6-year quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Now quickly here to Smith-Njigba. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
This is the tight end fan. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
3rd play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Smith-Njigba hauling it in on the out route. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
And he remains perfect on this opening drive. Charles now 5 of 5 and another 1st down to work with.
He's like one of those great shooters in basketball that has his rhythm, has his confidence, and he doesn't think anything is going to miss right now. As far as he's concerned, he's going to be perfect the entire game, and who's to say that it won't happen the way he's doing it right now.
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5.
He'll drop to throw. Touchdown, Seahawks. Jackson Smith-Njigba, his 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Seahawks get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kick unit from the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
So here come the Eagles for their initial possession of the game. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
They juked him. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader. And quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing. And let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real. And it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Right back to him on first down. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one.
They've done a pretty good job containing him up until this drive, and until that run, there was no containing him at all.
Yeah, you're right about that. But we didn't have to be in their practice sessions. We didn't have to be in their meeting rooms. They planned for a run like that to happen, maybe a couple of them. But what did they tell their guys all week? You know what they said. Move on to the next play. That one just happened. Let it go.
And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. He'll look to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if he continues to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing in too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Out of the gun now on third down.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the... And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Eagles are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and we are tied at 7. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. You look at this Eagle defense. It's a unit that has had all sorts of issues against the pass. Dead last in the NFL, number 32 in the league.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
It's out. It's loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They clinch the top spots in the road to the Super Bowl. It runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the number 1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely. And you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually.
Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw here. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space. Let him... Touchdown, Eagles! A 22-yard touchdown ground. And the Eagles have taken the lead. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bulling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 14-7. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Second and 14. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that's going to be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
Taken in at the 22. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally. They hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was,
Sean McVay unhappy on the sidelines visibly. He's made the decision to reach for the red flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bump.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The Eagles at 13-1 now on the year. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
80 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. It doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from, working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession.
as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Now the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this 1st half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Back to throw again. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. And that'll bring up 4th down on the big sack with a loss of 5. Here's Bryce Baringer on now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
On play action, they'll throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they approach this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one, ending up as a touchdown. Incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling in and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get the momentum going again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the 1st half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 4. He'll look to throw. This is intercepted. And the Eagles are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. 42 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick-6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick-6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Quickly completed to the right flat. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one as a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the out.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. That is caught. Down the sideline he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. 72 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. His throw incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Sideline throw, it's tipped, but he still got it. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
How about that tip ball going their way? They've got to have a lot of confidence because so far, Seems like everything is going their way.
On the other side, they're just hoping that second half it's a little bit of flip the script.
Yeah, let's see if they can hang in there mentally, because sometimes when things go against you so much in the first half, it's hard to bounce back.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
This is caught. A great open field tackle that's going to stop him shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And the Seahawks able to come up with a goal line stand. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. This now a 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, finding Smith-Njigba. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Jalen Carter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
Let's go now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. Touchdown. touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Sanders on for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Seahawks going to take